So welcome back to Chris's Amateur Hour Painting. All right, so I'm about to paint these panels, okay? I've got the fenders, both fenders done. They're primed, ready to go. I'm ready for base and clear, okay? The light buckets, the two access doors, and the front cowl. This is all I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna save the hood and the rear hatch for my next, once I get these off of here, then I'll put the hatch and the hood on this little setup. This is how I paint. I'm an amateur painter. Let me please preface this by saying I'm an amateur painter, DIYer. I'm doing this in my garage, okay? This is a little garage I have here, and I put a little plastic wall here so that I don't get paint on my other cars. Okay, so I want you guys to keep this in context. I'm just sharing this stuff because these are things that I search for on YouTube to try to get an idea how to do things. And when I see like a lack of information on something, and I figure it out, I try to share it because it's kind of frustrating to search out all these things and you're not getting any answers, okay? So I'm gonna try to give you guys a really practical answer on the issue of solvent pop, okay? I know it's a term that people use in the painting industry, solvent pop. I had a hard time finding anybody who would really tell you directly what the problem is and why this is happening. Okay, on this car here, okay, this white car, not this one, I solved the problem on this one. But on this white car, I don't think you're gonna be able to see it when I show it to you on this iPhone. It's kind of hard to tell, but what you're gonna notice is it's super dirty right now. Let me see if I can find a spot that's clean. Like say, I don't know if it's gonna show up, but right in this area, you're gonna see, so I'm 100% sure you're not gonna be able to see that, but what you're gonna see is you're gonna see like a very uniform speckling in the paint. It's gonna look like tiny little dots and they're gonna look uniform. So it's not dust because dust is random, okay? Dust is not gonna settle on your paint like very uniform. Solvent pop will, okay? It's gonna look like, and they're gonna be spaced apart like, I don't know, maybe a few millimeters, but it's gonna be very uniform on the whole entire panel, okay? And you can't get rid of it. You're not gonna be able to sand it out. You're not gonna be able to, buff that out. It's in the clear and it's all the way down to the base of the clear. So what's happening is when you clear coat, okay, after you do your base coat, you let it dry, and then you apply your clear. What's happening is the surface of the clear dries before what's underneath, okay? So it creates like a little layer. Let's see if I can draw this. I don't know if I have a pencil over here or not. So it kind of creates like a layer on your clear. This is horrible. So you're not gonna be able to see this, but say that's your clear and this is gonna be wet under here still, okay? But this is gonna skin over the top. So there's gonna be a layer that is drying before what's underneath. And then what's gonna happen is when the underneath paint is trying to dry, it's gonna try to break through that. It's gonna break through that skin that's on top, okay? And that's why it does it like in a uniform fashion. So when it breaks through, it creates little dimples all over the entire panel. It's because it's drying too fast, okay? So how do you fix that? Well, number one, let me go through the stuff I use, the paint I use. I have it in my office over here. So when I first started out painting, I had no idea of what kind of reducer to use, or the activator, I should say. And I ended up just going with what was on the, the information sheet, to where it says, let's see. So this is the clear I use. This is Finish One FC 720. This clear coat is a very budget. This is budget clear coat. Okay, this is about the cheapest. Well, not the cheapest you can get. I'm sure you can get cheaper, but it's very budget friendly, and it's made by Sherwin-Williams. Okay, so what I did was I looked at the like the different directions and all that, and I went by the temperature. It gives you a temperature range. So let's say you're painting between 75 and 85 degrees or whatever. It'll tell you that you need the medium hardener, okay? Or if you're painting in 60 to 50 degrees, you need the fast hardener, okay? What I found is that's wrong. What you want to do is you want to use the slow. No matter what, use the slow, okay? So this is what the hardener is right here. This is the part number for the hardener, FH613, slow hardener. I do have right here, this is what I used to use. I used to use the medium, which is the 612 versus the 613, okay? This medium here is what I painted the white Mustang with, okay? So, okay, now you know the products I use. I use eBay paint. So this is the paint I use, Touch Up Express. Well, not eBay, but Touch Up Express. If you go on their website, you can buy this paint. And this is, this needs to be reduced 1-to-1. But anyway, that's a different story. So let's go back to the car. Okay, so here's what you got to do. This is what I've learned. Again, keep in context that this is amateur DIY, amateur guy painting hour. So take it for what it's worth. I do recommend going on other channels and getting more information so that you guys can make your own decision. But this is what I do, okay? I do the clear, okay, base coat, and then you let it flash off. And then when you start your clear, you're gonna do a light coat, okay? I know I made a video before about doing heavier coats. That video that I did like 2 years ago was before I learned about this solvent pop problem. Okay, that was when I was painting this white Mustang and I got solvent pop, and it was after I made the video I noticed it, like in the sunlight, you can see it. So I did more research, and when I painted the white, this car, I did it a little bit different, okay? I did a lighter coat of clear to start, okay? Just kind of like, kind of tax it up. And then what you gotta do is you have to let it dry for 15 minutes. What I did is just so I didn't get confused, when I painted this, the Datsun, I would set a timer on my phone. I would clear it and I would leave, and I would not even go back into the room until the 15 minutes was up. Okay, this is super important. Wait 15 minutes. Even if it looks like it flashed off and you're ready to go again and you're like over here and you're like, oh, look, because you can touch it or whatever in inconspicuous spots, you're like this and you're touching it and it seems dry. In 10 minutes or 5 minutes, it seems like, oh, I can put another coat on. Wait the full 15 minutes. Let all that solvent come out of there, okay? Then you can come back with a thicker coat, a heavier coat. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. I'm not gonna, debate that or, go into like, this is how you should clear this, because I have a Harbor Freight gun. I don't know what kind of gun, you guys may have like really good professional guns. I got this Spectrum Harbor Freight gun. Getting a little windy over here. But I have that Harbor Freight gun that I'm familiar with it and I know what it does. I kind of, I've done it so much, I've painted so much with that gun that I'm used to it. So get used to your gun, whatever you have, get used to it. Do some practice. I practiced on some panels before I did the Datsun. I was practicing because I'm like, I do not want what happened to this car to happen to this one. So there was small panels that I painted and I came up with a system that worked for me. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna tell you guys to do. I'm not gonna show you techniques or anything like that because whatever you do may be different. But anyway, I did 3 coats of clear on that. So the first one is kind of like, not really a dusting, but you're not putting it on very heavy. The second one is a wetter coat, and the third one is a wetter coat. But 15 minutes minimum between coats. And you got to use slow hardener. That's the only two things I'm going to really tell you guys that, in my opinion, is the most important thing, okay? If you want to get rid of that solvent pop, that's what you got to do. And you want to paint in a relatively, normal temperature, 75, 80 degrees. When it starts getting really hot out, it's going to dry quicker. Like you can't stop it. The surface of it is going to dry quicker. And if you're like me and you're doing it like a DIYer, you don't have a paint booth, you don't have climate control, you don't have downdraft where it's sucking the clear out, so you don't have like atomized clear in the air like I do. Okay, this is DIY stuff. Okay, so you're gonna want to like pick a time where it's like 75 degrees, which it is right now. That's why I'm gonna do this right now, because it's right around 75 degrees. And even if you live in a hot climate, you can find times to do that, like early in the morning. Okay, early in the morning is perfect for this because there's not a lot of wind and the temperature is coming up, and you can time it. Okay, you can time it to where you're gonna be able to paint it when it's the right temperature, okay? 75 degrees is, in my opinion, is like the sweet spot for painting. That's what I did with the Datsun, and it really came out amazing. And again, I'm not a professional painter, so that's probably up for debate. Maybe when I take it to a car show, maybe a professional will tell me it looks like trash. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint this. Maybe I'll do like a little time lapse or something like that on some of it, and then we'll look at the clear when it's done, and we'll finish this video up. Okay guys, so we did 2 coats of base coat and 3 coats of clear with a minimum of 15 minutes in between each coat of the clear. It came out really good. There is some dust in it, that's to be expected when you're painting a garage. When I painted the shell of the Datsun, there was quite a few dust bugs in there too, but I did much better on these because I don't have any runs, which that's a lot of work when you have runs. Another tip is I don't have the fans on right now because I'm trying to talk to you guys, but you want to run your fans, whatever fans you got going on, you want to run them for about an hour after your last coat, because the solvent is still going into the air and you don't want it to fall back down onto your panels. So if you keep that running, it'll suck anything that comes out of your panels, it'll suck it out the door. So anyway, let's take a look real quick. I don't know how much this is gonna show, but just looking at it, I don't see any of the solvent pop, because you usually do see it right away, because the top layer will skin over and then it's got trapped chemicals underneath it. So, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I do have a little run right there, but that's not a big deal. I thought I didn't have any, but I have a little one right there, so not a big deal. For the most part, I think it came out pretty good. Hopefully it's coming through on video. I'm not sure, but so yeah, that was it. 2 base, 3 clear, 15 minutes in between, and slow hardener. Try it out, you know, like get a test panel maybe and just try it. And then look at it under like good light to see if you see any of that solvent pop. And yeah, anyway, this video is probably getting long. I just wanted to show you guys this tip and hopefully it helps someone out there. I know it took me 2 cars before I figured this out. And there just wasn't a lot of info out there. So I figured I'd make a video, help you guys out. And yeah. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hopefully the next video, maybe we're taking the Mustang out. I know you guys like to see that, but this is what I'm working on right now. So this is what I have to share. So anyway, check you all later.